Hello and welcome to the IT News podcast. Our guest is Strandbags Group Chief Technology Officer, John Khoury. Strandbags is a household name in Australian retail, a destination store for bags with over 300 physical stores across Australia and New Zealand and an online presence. The company is in the midst of a significant digital transformation, stretching from core systems to data, marketing, customer service and everything in between. Join IT News Associate Editor Eleanor Dickinson and John as they discuss the work, the reasons for it, the strategy, and how technology can help the retailer get ahead.
It's coming up to 90 days, so very new. I'm really excited to be in the role. Great organisation. We also own Antler, so it's a global business. I love the culture, I love the leadership team. In terms of what I need to do is probably shift that IT move from being a break-fix transactional department to more a business enabler. So that's with empowering a team that's been there for a long time. So there's long tenure in the team, but also about some upcoming digital significant transformation.
Is there any particular initiatives in terms of digital transformation you can tease or point to, or any areas that you think are in immediate need of being addressing?
The company's invested heavily in what I call customer-facing initiatives, whether it's storefronts, e-commerce, brand, IT. Whilst it's well-resourced, the technologies that we need to address quickly is going to be ERP, CDP for marketing, CRM for customer service, and the wider sales team. They're probably the base projects, and from there, point of sale, and then how we improve our single source of truth, BI data reporting.
And what does that look like for you from a strategy point of view? Is that looking at a lot of ripping out, replacement, or repurposing and integration? What does it look like?
There's probably three significant chunks of technology. Some of it is bespoke, some of it is coming to end of life. In summary, it will be to replace, but I want to do it through consolidation and best-in-class global vendors. In my last two roles, I wouldn't say I've been a pioneer, but I've been a close follower in certainly following those principles. When you go with a global best-in-class vendor, it's trusted, it's well-resourced, whether it's partners, talent, in your region, in respective countries. I just think you de-risk it. And we're in an age now where software as a service, it's now about configure rather than having to develop bespoke technology.
And you mentioned as well, I think you've got quite a few custom solutions within Strandbags. Where do you see them playing, and how do they fit with a modernisation program where new technology is brought in?
Yeah, it's very important we don't disrupt business as usual, BAU. So they will come along the journey in the transition to this, what I call best-in-class end state. And as we go along, we'll work with the partners, with the teams, to work out if any of those legacy or current technologies are kept in the future state. But at a high level, early in the piece, I would say 2 to 4 years, I'd be very surprised if she's left.
Can you just tell me a little bit what resourcing looks like for you from a leadership perspective in terms of partnerships, technology, and also making use of your team?
I've been very public, both to the team and also across the business, to reiterate how lucky we are that the IT team have a lot of business knowledge. And whilst the change is difficult for anyone, we will need their knowledge of the business to help us get to future state. But what's exciting is they will learn new technology, new solutions, and upskill themselves and be relevant and thrive in the future landscape. So it's very important that I take the team on the journey with this. Additionally, I'm a big believer that any change or transformation starts from the top, the board, the CEO, and my peers on the leadership team. These are not IT projects, these are business transformation projects. And then working with partners, the vendors strategically, but then trusted partners that have done this before, and has to be relevant to the industry. So we're a retail and online business. So having partners that thrive in that space, and then obviously geography. We want people that are here in the UK and our new emerging international markets that can help us.
at the moment, then it sounds like you're in a bit of a position to build up a foundation to scale then if you're expanding in more international markets.
Yeah, look, there's no hard stops. I think my priority is to get to a nice clean base in 2 years' time, and then there'll be what I call enhancements and phase 2 improvements as AI capabilities. It's becoming more and more prevalent, but it's also changing rapidly, the capability and how it becomes mainstream across business functions. That's just one example. 2 years won't be the end goal, it'll be the base, and then from there some nice new exciting, I guess, enhancements and new capabilities to deliver.
When retailers normally speak about their IT strategic priorities, it often seems to be around customer experience and operational efficiency. Can you tell me, do they factor in for you, and how does that kind of translate into a strategy and into your investment priorities?
Look, I've been very impressed with the customer-facing focus of Strandbags. It's a great experience whether you go online, whether you go in store, and just more broadly the brand. I think what we've done is we've pushed the limits, even though we're able to meet the customer facing requirements. At the back end, we're bursting at the seams. And to be true to the whole business, the back end and technology at the back end with process needs to catch up to ensure that we're agile, we can scale, we can grow. When I say grow, we can grow into new markets and deal with opportunities and mitigate threats more quickly.
You mentioned those include ERP, customer data management. Is there any particular platforms you're looking at? So you have this good base for growth?
I'm a big believer, as long as it's trusted, best in class. If you can do it as a service, so software as a service is almost the business case finalised. I can't announce it yet, but it will be a globally known vendor that is a SaaS and based in the cloud.
Within retail, whether that's in agents helping on the back end, as in with customer-facing agents being aided by AI, or tools like chatbots helping customers themselves. What does that look like for Strandbags, and where is it going?
Yeah, there's been some dabbling in that space. I speak to my peer who oversees manages customer service, and in their current CRM tool, they are leveraging a chatbot in what I'd say quite an advanced manner, which is really pleasing. Before we can get carried away, AI can be marketing hype in many instances. The prerequisites is you need the systems, you need your data to be clean, and you need the business case. What are we trying to improve or solve? I think we're at a stage now where we need to address the base. In terms of how I'm using AI professionally in my actual role, I'm very excited. I've just come from a high-powered workshop with some directors who are now using it in their day-to-day lives. And I've got a little informal exec committee where we're trialling it before we then take it to our CEO and look at expanding it across the wider group.
That sounds like a very good way to get stakeholder buy-in.
Yeah, absolutely. What we're doing is we're using the same platform. We're collaborating. We're sharing good experiences or asking questions when we're not sure. And I think that is progressing at a nice rate. And shortly, I'd like to expand that out to the leadership team and then some super key users across the business.
Are there any particular challenges you're finding? You're 90 days into the role, so I imagine you'll have more to come. But from a perspective of the retail industry, it's one that's had incredible change due to the rapid acceleration of e-commerce.
I think security will always be a challenge, especially with cyber risk these days. My whole thing is we need to stay proactive with not only customer e-commerce, but all our systems. So that keeps me up at night at the moment, especially when you hear some horror stories. I think we need to be agile. Agile is very important, especially with new emerging competitors. And just being agile so that if there's an opportunity, whether it's acquiring another business, introducing new brands, new SKUs, a new range, that technology is not the hold up to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the last thing any CIO or any business wants, is your technology holding you back from growth rather than facilitating it. Just to start to wrap up, from a career perspective, anybody listening who's trying to accelerate up the career ladder in terms of technology or broader technology leadership, is there any advice you would give to them just based on your experience currently and just over the course of your career? I
would recommend that they subscribe to things like itnews.com.au. I mean that sincerely. Be a part of industry groups where you collaborate. So whether you're collaborating with fellow CTOs, CIOs, attending breakfasts, workshops, and then just collaborating with your work colleagues. Just trying to understand what the priorities of technology are for the business or what problems you're trying to solve. And just as importantly, I'll reiterate this, whilst we all want to improve margin, grow our businesses and be more efficient, it's really important that you work with trusted technology and trusted support implementation partners.
Absolutely. It's very easy to get caught up with new technology and new innovation, but I think make sure that you know why you're choosing a certain technology.
Yeah, absolutely. And whilst I talk about consolidation, only if it makes sense. If it means that you have 2 or 3 vendors, because that's what makes sense, so be it. But always strive for the best outcome, whether that's single state or a hybrid of various best-in-class technologies.
And that's a great note to end on, so thank you so much, John.
That's the episode for this fortnight. Stay tuned for the next episode. And for all the latest headlines and happenings in Australian technology news, head over to itnews.com.au.